So, during our last long rest, our adventurers finally arrived at the city of Primtir, an elven known as the First City. Here they began doing several different things that, I suppose, fit their agenda, and began gathering more information for their own individual needs, as well as also enjoy just a bit of downtime, a bit of interest of finding their own things that they want to have made, buying some things, and just in general being able to have some time to themselves. During this session, however, they were able to find out a bit more information through the Gloomwick University. Eldrith, ever so interested in the stars and what lies beyond, gathered some information from a couple of lectures from the astronomers of this place, figuring out that a woman by the name of Lena Stargazer was the first to ever be titled as such because she was the first person to ever be able to cast magic from the stars. They also find out, thanks to Doy's exploration, that Doy seemed to have something called a philosopher's tear in him. Something that saved his life once prior to this, very early on, and is now broken. According to Professor Cornelius, a master of materials, history, and the Novum, he told Doy that a philosopher's tear is 1 in 16, and once broken seems maybe impossible to bring back. But he said that maybe with something as equally strong as what brought it into this world could possibly rebuild it, or at least re-energize it. It is a wonder, however, what remains, how DO1 without a core keeps being able to move forward when these creatures are sentient mainly because of their cores. Also, we had a bit of a shopping list where Piers and Hjarlgron went about their own ways to gather something for Doy. Doy is resilient in his own ways, but not exactly when it comes to defense. He can probably dish out and seems more than happy to be joining along for the adventure to discover the world, but when it comes to taking a hit at the front, he seems to be knocked down pretty quickly. Hjarlgron wanted to take protection over this to make sure that his allies wouldn't fall in battle. With a recently carved essence of a fume drake, not that you guys know what that was, but from the recently carved essence of a fume drake, Hjarlgron was able to utilize this essence, find someone called an Awakener and a blacksmith to forge him a pauldron, something that would garner him more resistance, make him a bit tougher on the outside. They met with a blacksmith called Colt and an Awakener called Nira, two of which were working together to make sure that this requisite was done. After trading on the goods and cutting up the costs and how long it would take, they mentioned that they would have it done in roughly a week, and to come back then. So, with some time under their belts, they eventually all garnered together back at main plaza, trying to figure out where they go next from here, whether they hang around, maybe pick up a job or two here, or maybe they just go and get what they're told to get done quicker, which is to go to the Witchlight and hopefully there's put an end to maybe 1 or 2 cultists that have lost their mind over some sort of sun god. However, a most coincidental meeting occurred. Upon waiting in front of a large statue of a champion of light called Vasilis, they found a figure that isn't recognizable, yet somehow to Hjarlgron it caused some sort of deepened damage. To anyone else, maybe they would have had to take a couple of second glances to notice them, but this man was almost a spitting image of the witch Thera, who burnt them all to ash not so long ago. A man in his youth, with pale, complex skin, blue eyes like the sky, and almost white blonde-like hair, wearing the same robes that she wore, cupping a small flame and ember, hoping to keep it warm. It turns out that this man was a person called Versa. He gave himself the title of the Radiance. He mentioned that Thera was his sister, and he seemed to be happily positive and friendly. He was open about wanting to bring their god's light to the world. He didn't see no evil in it and was more than happy to make friends with our party. He even offered to go with them to where they were all going to meet up. Obviously, our party members all reserved their own thoughts on this, kept maybe a couple of choices up their sleeves, and Hjarlgron managed to keep his wrath under control. From here, our adventurers mentioned that they would have a night's rest because Versa has something else they would like to do in this afternoon, but in the morning they should meet at the statue at dawn, and they would go together to meet up with the rest of the Sacred Flame. So our party members, inquisitive and slightly weary, left Versa to his own devices. Pierce followed him and found out that he has either connections or some sort of ability to walk past the guards and talk to them as allies and be allowed into the dungeons. That's where Pierce lost track of him. The rest of the group eventually joined up at a inn, the Prancing Doe, owned by Alicia. A statue outside depicted that of a musician, one that both Ambrose and Celwydd knew. Teelin, one of the musicians, that it seems that Alicia has appreciation over their music, seemed to hold a big standing point in this place. So instead of purchasing their residence here, the good old merry band put together what they always do. A quick band, a pitch together of different musical instruments. However, this time the duet was joined by another duet in the form of Hjarlgron's war drum and Doi's metronome. The performance was something. It was inviting and played a different twist on Teelin's normal Celtic classical music. But it seemed that most of the audience was okay with it, and Alicia, the owner of the bar, thought that they worked off their pay. So they rested, enjoyed the rest of their night, and upon first light, they ventured all together to the statue of Vasilis, where in the distance, they could see Versa waving at them with a big smile. And that's where we're going to pick up. So, as we all find ourselves in Primtier, at the main plaza, where the large statue of Vasilis is, Versa seems happily waiting. A satchel to his side, made of the same white cloth that his rest of his garments are made of, and seems to also just be happily waiting for all you as he waves you all over. What do you all do?
I'm gonna pull.
I'm gonna head over, I suppose.
Real quick.
Yep.
I'm going to pull over Syldia.
Wagwan, my G.
Do you still have that statue on you?
Yes.
Are you able to protect that as we go into, the lion's den, or do you want to find a place to stash it?
Well, I could do, but if I'm attacked by that Thera woman, then I probably wouldn't be able to survive, considering her strength.
Do you want to find a deposit box for it then, or? I'm sure that we should all be able to look after each other as we go forward.
I mean, if you think it's necessary, I'm not sure whether we're intending to fight over there, though. I'd rather avoid that.
Plus,
I'll leave it up to your discretion.
leaving it in a spot and losing it while we're not here would really, really, really suck.
He's got a point.
You have a point.
Well, we could always have someone stay back with it, perhaps.
I think we're all expected to go.
What if I eat the statue?
Yummers!
Hear me out, guys.
Yeah, the statue that constantly stays clean, like it has this aura about it as well. And you want to put that in your stomach? Mm.
Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah,
Not
clean
to
out his
mention
insides.
that it's made of brass and, 18 inches tall and maybe, 8 inches in
Brass.
width.
Brass
This isn't lead. What's the worst that happens?
Yeah, it's not
We can
bad,
store it
man.
in DO1.
True.
that.
Look, he doesn't have a core inside him. We open up his lid, we stick it inside, we close it back up.
Yeah,
Easy,
but he
done.
explodes when he transforms. Like not actually, but
I
like the
see.
metal kind of falls apart and like it would
Then
lose it.
rebuilds itself.
Listen,
Yeah,
if
I
it comes
see,
to
okay.
it, I'll snap the statue in half so they can't use it.
That might work.
I'm sure you'll be able to do that.
Better it's not usable than in their hands.
Very
True.
true. Alright, so Syldia's looking after the statue. We all look after her. Easy done.
Sounds good, sounds good.
Rat thumbs up gif.
True, we could have our little fucking stupid star nerd stay back. He did want to take all the.
Ouch.
He
all the
could
knowledge
spend the
in.
time
Right.
at the library.
I will
Well, maybe
warn you
not.
at the chance of saying someone behind. I will warn you that means not playing for roughly 3 to 4 sessions.
Yeah. We're not leaving anyone behind.
Like, you guys aren't just teleporting somewhere, dealing with someone, and teleporting back in one session, homies. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah, no, we're walking.
Surely. No,
We're
surely.
walking.
This is a minimum of not playing for maybe 3 to 4 sessions.
Well, now I am
Yeah.
not doing it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to
No,
go
I'm
with very
staying
sad.
Well, hey, you know, what these people know, what they don't know, can't hurt us. So, they just don't have to know that we have it in our pocket.
Yeah, and if they do, well, I'll just snap it in front of them. Throw out some gang signs and then run.
And then we go from there. Sounds like a plan.
Run from the
I love-
teleporting woman.
I love the composure of this team. To be honest, we just snap it and fucking throw gang signs and peace out, guys. Let's go.
In the middle finger. and
Yeah,
just
no,
walk
in the
out.
middle of a
Yeah.
cold space. It's gonna be great.
Vanish like the gift.
This
Just-
group is literally no thoughts, just vibes. And
Either-
I'm here for it, to be honest.
Anyway,
When they
I mean, after musicians, bro, vibes is all we're gonna get.
You described this campaign as whimsical, so I brought whimsical vibes, alright?
We are
Well,
pretty
I'm loving
busy.
it. I'm loving it. It's fitting as well.
Speak for everyone when I say the vibes are delectable.
Wait a second.
Silence.
But Doy would say this.
If they see it, either we are all dead or they are. Why does it matter?
Damn.
Black and white,
He's
I like
kinda
it.
right.
At the end of the day, it's a dog-eat-dog world.
I mean, it's survival. Either you eat or you don't eat.
I don't think it's quite as black and white as that, but we'll see.
Anyway,
Well, Hjarlgron seems to think we can trust him, so I trust Hjarlgron.
We've been following his lead so far, and it's gotten us here, hasn't it?
Children
He
trust
did
no
take
one.
on the bugbear.
I'll say this now. I trust no
Or
one.
whatever.
But you guys don't need to know. Oh god. Oh.
I'm sure the big guy's got perfect judgment.
Well,
Anyway.
on that thought.
Meet up with our home skillet.
Onwards.
Yeah.
Did you
That's
say
a-
home skillet?
Yeah, I did.
He's a nice guy so far.
I mean, yeah. He's right. He's
Yeah,
not
but
done
so am
anything
I.
I don't like that modifier at the end of that sentence, Glow. So
I
far.
yet. No, I don't like how like you went.
so far so good.
Anyway, as you guys take a quick pause,
Anyway.
he waves at you in the distance. All of a sudden, you all huddle, have a chat, and then continue walking towards him after he's
Move the
waved
story
at you.
along, Brandon. Move the story along, Brandon.
He moves up. You guys move up to the statue, and he waves all of you, and he says, "Morning. I hope you all had a good rest."
It was fine.
Not bad.
All right. Well,
I'm used to the floor, not a bed.
oh, I'm sorry to hear that. They should really make places more comfortable for folks of your size.
Well, the bed was too soft.
He laughs. I suppose it is a bit different up in the frost, eh?
Much nicer in the frost.
Well, I've managed to procure us a wagon and 2 horses. I thought it'd make the journey a bit easier.
Very kind.
Traveling as a
Thank you.
group, and as far as we're going, I thought the extra horsepower might be handy.
Very thoughtful.
Well, all things set. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Let's.
All right. He takes the lead as he walks forward towards the northern entrance of Primtier, which is behind the Palace of Cards. As you loop around it, and you can see plenty of guards taking up their watch on the morning walls. And people, it says very, very early morning, and people are slowly starting to come out and, set up what they need to, maybe go to the university or go to the bank, whatever it might be. You begin seeing the turmoil as it slowly uncovers. Right. Arriving at the stables that are on the outside walls of Primtier, you can see two horses, one with white and brown plodges, and the other one which is completely black. And a comfortable, sizable cart that has seems to be quite well reinforced with some cast iron as well on the wheels on the sides. Probably designed to carry heavy duty or a lot of things. Maybe he took into account that he would be traveling with someone like Hjarlgron, and he thought maybe he would like to sit down every now and again. So he got
I am
something
heavy
that.
duty.
So he got something that would be capable of at least bringing him as well.
It's true. I am pretty heavy duty.
What's up?
Okay. Quickly, while the DM's distracted, to snap his neck.
So
I'm gonna choke slam him now.
nice,
Oh, he's
nice,
back.
nice, nice.
Ignore it.
Oh shit! No,
Divine Smite, Thunderous Smite, crit, go!
Nice,
I
nice,
stab
nice,
him.
nice,
I
nice.
stab him again.
I
stab
like
him
calling
again.
out the crit.
He says
28 stab wounds.
he says no.
Well,
What did he mean by that?
man's a divination wizard.
So, yeah, you all, if you want to, those of you that want to walk can, but there's plenty of space on the back of this large carriage if you want to be on the back of it. He seems to be happy to take the reins, since obviously he knows where he's going. And some of you can walk to the side, or you can stay on the back. It's entirely up to you. But
Is it open top?
it is an open top, yes.
Oh.
I will sit in the carriage.
Pierogi.
Yeah, I'll sit.
Very well.
Hjarlgron's got legs. He's gonna use them.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Doyle will waddle.
All right. So,
I will sit.
your journey then from Primtier towards over the Novum Bridge and towards Dawnstead begins. Right. Okay then. So, the distance between the city, Primtier, and the Novum Bridge is not too great. You can notice that as soon as you guys set off, a couple of hours into the journey, you guys can already begin to see the large towering figures that sit parallel next to one another. It's difficult from this perspective to make any semblance of what they are, but the journey there is very easy. It seems to be paved to a certain extent, and plenty of people seem to be coming back and forth from it. Normally merchants more than anything else, but a couple of more adventurers possibly amongst them as well. But you can begin to see just ever so slightly the tips and maybe some of the edges of these large twin towers.
Wait a second.
Bold.
And then you see a dragon flying.
Hold
in.
up! Wait a minute!
No!
A second dragon has hit the tower.
Oh no,
Huh?
fires!
Anyway, after roughly the first, it takes you not a day of travel, but I suppose daylight worth of travel. It takes you roughly 12 hours to get from Primtier to the opening of the bridge. So, during those 12 hours of journeying and stopping and resting or whatever, just a cumulative, Versa actually seems pretty interested in you guys, so he decides to open up a small patch of conversation during the journey. And He says it openly, not towards anyone in specific. It's interesting seeing a set group of adventurers like all of you lot traveling around. Is there anywhere that you were heading in particular?
South.
It's your typical
and
ragtag
that was
group.
about it. No real set place.
Oh, you're heading south?
Going,
I mean, I was. Until I met these lot.
going with the flow, I would say.
That's always good. Sometimes I feel like I can't really follow the breeze anymore. So, set by, I suppose, righteous direction. Are any of you, religious or formed seeking light in the Novum?
Incredibly.
He
I
laughs.
have my faith.
That's good. I sometimes worry for adventurers that don't have a faith walker amongst them.
Faith Walker.
Oh god, I love it.
So, is this always been your life? A follower of Stolen?
I would say so. At least since I was pretty young. After seeing the light, everything changed after that point, I'd say. I was just a normal, standard, boy living in a family, amongst many other people. We used to live in Lorgia, but I haven't been home for a while. Growing up with Thera as my sister, you can imagine, she kind of dragged me around wherever we wanted to go. She protected me always, though. And then once we both saw the light, well, Sacred Flame showed us the way, and from then, yeah, I've been doing this for maybe 5, 6, 7 years.
Mother and father still around then?
Sadly not. A, freak accident.
Sean Pro.
I appreciate
Sorry
it.
to hear that.
Well, it is the events in life that shape us and form us to be who we are. Everything has a purpose, even death.
What do you mean by that?
Surely just a trial.
Exactly. Our life is a set path. Trials from the gods. Overcome them, don't overcome them. They all lead to something. Eventually.
How did it begin for you? With, well, your revelation, or others? Your first steps down the path of piety and faith.
From the very same freak accident. And he holds his tongue for a split second. Let's just say that after it, we were shown a path where life seemed better. A paradise. So I guess everything changed after it. Both my perception on Equin and my family. Ever since, it's been me and Thera. Of course, now we work under Mr. R and a couple of the others from the Sacred Flame.
Mr. R?
Mister,
Yeah,
Oh, we heard about that absolute sweats thing.
he's our leader. He's the pontiff of our group.
Pontiff.
Sullivan? Oh no.
Does he
Forget
not
about
have a
the
name?
pontiff.
Or is he just...
Reculus. His name is, but we call him Mr. R.
Write that down, write that down.
And they're done.
So-
I shouldn't say-
Is...
Reculus.
He's gonna fucking wreck us.
He's been our guiding light for a while.
Hmm. That word pontiff, does that mean he took his position from someone?
He seems to be set of mind that the place that he sits at, the ruling position that he sits at, and the leadership he has, isn't for him to have, it should be for Solon, but he almost feels like he's stepping in the wrong shoes. But Solon has chosen him, so he undermines himself by calling himself a pontiff. Because he doesn't believe that it is his rightful place to be in the position he's in.
Shockingly humble. In the strangest of ways.
We all try to be. In the light of Solon, it's hard not to be.
Tell me, what has it been like? Being a man of, well, your stature and piety.
Generally, not too bad. A lot of people look at us sometimes, but then you have certain people that don't even know who Solon is, and others who cast him out as a forgotten one. They just don't understand yet. That's the issue. But it is a simple form of balance. The whole is there. There's a god of the moon. There's a god of the stars. There should also be a god of the sun, should there not?
Not much, I can agree.
You have an
But I can
idea why you
understand
think
your
that?
methods can be
Sorry?
persuasive. Surely, with the way you conduct yourself and the clear evidence, with the sky quite literally splitting open for sunlight to follow you.
He looks up at the exact description of the morning light on you guys. It is one of the many gifts. Not many notice. But this way I can always walk in his radiance and his omniscience.
Do we know?
His
Do we know?
omniscience.
Go ahead.
Sure. The sun looks over the world at all times, does it not? Anything that the light sees, it sees as well. Anything that's conducted under the light.
Yikes.
Have you heard of nighttime?
Oh, of course, that's what I mean. For as long
What
as it's
is it?
daytime, he can see all. And then as soon as
Right,
Reece
it's
is
only
well,
half the time then. He's semi-niscient.
I suppose that could be true.
Just pointing out, I'm sorry.
Well,
I don't mean to interrupt your piousness.
Ambrose has gained a new status, seething.
it's
Molding.
don't trouble yourself. Not everyone understands everything to do with our gods. And you don't seem much of a religious person yourself, so.
No. You see, I do not believe much in the gods, for they do not believe much in me. It's a mutual ignorance.
Lost faith. A shame it occurs so frequently. Yet without them we'd have nothing, as proven by the Dark Ages.
Well, they took everything away.
Exactly. Without them we have nothing. With them we have everything.
Without the gods, they wouldn't have taken anything. So we would have been fine.
Well, they coexist. We can't have things without them. They are everything around us. The Novum forms the plants that give you oxygen, the sun that keeps you warm, the night light that scares away the beasts, the water that we drink and sail on, the wind that blesses our winds and forms our sails.
Do not most gods come into being because they are believed into such things?
It's a common mistake. Not always the case. Some of them were crafted as such, and some, like Aimee, were actually indeed brought in through worship, that is true. But those who see domains more than all are mainly there of their own volition, choice. maybe even a higher construction. I am thankful for every drop of water I drink, and every breath I take.
Must be nice.
Though with the gods, you also receive the other side of the coin, don't you? Their free use of judgment.
Well, who better to judge us than the primordials? There is no one in
And
this
at
world more
times-
fit to be judge, jury, and executioner than those above, right?
Well, to be fair, you have a point. By the same time, many have suffered from their unduly judgment, and that endless wrath that they seem to have at their disposal.
I believe it's always rightful and just.
Would you mind me asking what your role is? I understand that you and your sister work as a pair, or at least it appears to be so.
As the Radiant, I am here to bring Solon's light to others, to show his ways and bring about more of us. Show them that there's nothing to fear in his light.
And how's that going for you?
Reasonably well. Sometimes people just wave you off as another fanatic, but you get used to that. But in general, I've managed to convert quite a lot of people. A lot of people have seen light.
If you don't mind me asking, if I was to come to you as a curious onlooker, what would you say would benefit somebody? What are your main values in what you do?
The commandments of Solon are as clear as they're carved into my back, as well as every other's. We make sure that the world should always be bathed in light. All it can see will be warm and prideful. That we can always make sure that everything is set in peace. To make sure that everyone is in a rightful place. And those that step out of line and find themselves hiding in the shadows of his light should be brought forth so that they can be judged by him.
Sounds simple enough. And nice in some ways.
We are only really an extension of the laws that some kingdoms put in place already.
Well, I'm not a particularly religious man, so say I wanted to ask Solon a favor, would I be able to sort of do it through you? If you could maybe make a prayer and just include a little caveat.
Asking for favor is always something tricky. We all, of course, can pray and hope, and maybe during their time they can bless us with something. But yes, I suppose you could do. I wouldn't mind adding you to my prayers and worship. Is there anything in particular that keeps your mind?
Well, yes, just like maybe perhaps he could tone it down a little bit because some of us are born with very sensitive skin.
Alright. I'll try and tell him that maybe his sun is too bright. But that is what the night is for. We have sun walkers and night walkers.
Right, well, sometimes it's just not convenient, that's all.
The sun doesn't always shine, sadly. There are days of cloud and mist.
I do love a good rainy day. It's very nice.
Well, regardless of, it's I'm very thankful for all of you for wanting to hear me out and meet the rest of them. And hopefully this can provide some insight into what we do.
I
Well,
wonder.
I would like to apologize in advance.
But what would that be?
We have met your sister once before.
I heard, yes.
We were the ones at the keep.
He kind of goes blank slightly.
But we were only there for this, and I'd take like the
What?
bounty board slip that we had.
Oh.
You're
We
the...
knew
Yeah, he
most of
doesn't
the
have the statue.
intentions that your sister had. We didn't even know she was there. What we knew was goblins had taken up a keep. It was an unfortunate time and circumstance, and we happened to run into your sister.
That and some slimy bastard took piss.
So,
Hey.
we wanted...
What?
I wanted to apologize to your sister for striking her. You can see the veins in the side of Hjarlgron's head.
He looks at you with a small smile forming. Oh, I see. Well, I'm sorry that you had to meet the Scorch. I'm surprised that all of you made it out alive if you managed to encounter my sister in a form of battle. That's high enough praise.
Our poor
Some
little
of us were
boy
just-
here almost died. From the
Yeah,
fire.
it was nothing.
looks at Dai, who legitimately got fucking disintegrated.
It was nothing. Like
Some
what?
of us
No
were
reaction.
Just, some of us were just nowhere near, you know. So
Oh, I'm very sorry.
I practically had no part in it. I wasn't even in the fort.
Oh man, just Dai just gets it with the fireball. Oh, straight death.
And
Just-
that's all, folks.
like- Ah, it just hit and he just vanished.
Well, you'll have to accept my humble apology on her behalf. When she's there for duty, there is little that stands in her way. I guess it was just a situation of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You see, we have a very, very important mission, and time is against us. The keep was
Important
important for
mission.
something, so it just so happens that you guys were doing a small quest for an adventuring guild to clear out some goblins, and it turns out that was the same place that something else was happening in.
Which does beg the question: why were you even using goblins? They're pretty useless at the best of times.
They're a good force to command, especially when we need certain things by extension of arm.
I suppose, in someone's definition, they're good soldiers, or you know, provocable, explodable. So I'm told. And looks over at Celwydd.
Well, but don't worry yourselves with that.
It can all be water under the bridge, I suppose.
Yeah.
I hate that phrase.
Are we like right next to a bridge as well?
You're almost at the bridge. I was just about to say, as this conversation kind of comes to its end, you can begin to see in the distance the two towers that I very briefly spoke of, almost like pins in the distance, now begin to form into a much greater view.
Great of you.
You can begin to see, let's see, that upon arriving closer, you can finally see the two watchtowers standing with strength and might either side of you. The details of them become more clear. They're tall watchtower-like buildings, and carved out of them is the depiction of a being of great power. Parallel to this one is is an exact replica of this one. They seem to be forming some sort of entryway onto this bridge that now lines in front of you.
Ooh.
You can see that it seems to be fading off into the rolling morning fog. The bridge can only be seen up to a certain extent, and then it's just a wall of fog. As you arrive closer, you can finally see these two watchtowers. The depictions
two
of the
large
light.
statues of the large warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do a check to see if I can recall any information on them?
You can do a religion check if you want, since we are on the
Damn it.
Novum Bridge.
Damn it, I wanted a fucking history check.
Sure.
I
I could allow
I
history.
wanted to put my boon to use.
I could allow history.
Yes! I put my boon to use.
He's
Shit,
booning!
Advantage. Woo! Anything
He's
I
booning!
think it's of any powerful warriors or of wars. I have advantage on. I just wanted to see if I knew of these. No. Yeah, I just look at them like,
Yeah, you're not entirely sure who they might be depicting.
Well,
Might I try?
You can try a religion check if you want. History is more to do with the building of the bridge, and a religion is more to do with the actual people on the carved walls.
I suppose I'll do the religion then. They're both the same modifier, but carved walls.
10. Not too bad. Midway.
Oh wow.
It's just a base common knowledge. The beings of great power that are standing at the front are at least the Kelmont's depiction of their religious figures, the two guardians that were first brought onto the world, Kalim and Starweaver. Both of them, obviously, on the Novum Bridge, quite fittingly, were the first two guardians to arrive onto Equin, and then eventually regain godhood. And these two towers are set in their image. Starweaver on the left and Kalim on the right. But yeah, as you come closer to them, you can see that at the top of these watchtower statues, you can see a dim firelight dancing at the top, as well as the occasional shimmer of light as if it was reflecting off of a surface, almost as if light was bouncing off of a telescope of some kind. In front of you, however, with these two towering statues on either side, past the entryway of the towers in the mouth, you can see the mouth of the Novum Bridge. It is almost 100 foot wide in width, and who is to say how long it is? The bridge is formed, at least here at its entry, of smooth grey stone and black slate that have now been severely aged with time and covered in moss and now eroded. You can see far off into the bridge, but eventually it gets consumed by a rolling fog. However, in the distance, you can hear the sound of a working city, the sounds of hooves on stone, clanging of metal, discussions of people, and even, for some of you, faint scent and sound of searing steaks. Versa turns and mentions, before he actually starts going on to the Novum Bridge, have any ever been to the Novum Bridge before?
I'm not from around here, so first time.
guessing
a few times during
come
my
this way or the
travels.
Hallbridge Gate right running.
Yeah, you could have gone either way, either which way you would have wanted to. It's your journey.
You know what? Seeing as I just did a thingy on that, no. I think I went all the way to Hallgate.
Alright. Syldia says, well,
Yeah.
they're quite the wonder. I won't spoil the surprise. And he slacks the horses and keeps them going. As you go further onto the bridge, now with the rolling fog from the morning dew and probably the fog that rises from Delia's channel, Delia's divide underneath you, this bridge is always covered with this kind of not super dense, but still a fog that after a while covers and converts a lot of distance into just fog. You can notice that as you go closer and closer past the fog, the bridge is no ordinary straight and narrow bridge. It seems, let me bring you guys to it. It seems that people have actually set up a settlement on this bridge. Not to mention that by this point, the bridge is no longer just one long road. It seems to be a network of amazing bridges and pathways, rope lines connecting segments, and even levels that connect via wooden rope elevators that lift shift them up and down. A whole civilization built upon the width of a bridge.
Like a shantytown.
So, as what was once a 100-foot wide bridge sets off into ravines and long bridges, some made of rope, some made of stone, twin ropes that kind of connect them, and pillars that segment them up, rope and wooden elevators that lead up and down the different levels of this city. You guys can begin to see the Novum Bridge form in front of you. Houses line every ounce of this street with narrow alleyways and bridges that lead to lower floors and levels, off into the point where you can't even see the bottom of the bridge because it is covered in this greenish tinted fog at the bottom, maybe from the waters of the Delia's Divide. People are making their way and doing their own thing here, living about as if this was to be some sort of city. It makes you wonder who was the first person to settle in a place, and who was the first person to wonder, you know what, let's make a village onto this place. You all admire and awe as you see this fascination form in front of you. Market stalls and streets, and all sorts of needs. As you go,
Nice to be firm.
similar to where you're from.
Yeah. Cramped streets. People down and about. Everything's both run down and upkept at the same time.
It is odd. It's one of my favourite places in Kelmon, just because of how different it is. Normally you would think it's just a bridge to make sure that plenty of people can go back and forth, but it seems to be a network. And then he looks over the side of the bridge and you can see all the way down at different levels and floors illuminated by sconces and torches. Some trees that have grown out of the side of the bridges, all with these autumny orangey leaves. And even down there, there's more.
Ambrose will also peer over the edge. And then... Nope. Looks horrific.
Afraid of heights?
Not heights, no.
Well, the journey through here, it's getting pretty late. We should probably find a place to rest, and then it's going to probably take us another day or so to get past the actual Novum Bridge. It's quite a lengthy journey. So I advise, I don't know, you go around, check things out. Maybe have a wander around. Got some things I'd like to see around here and do whilst I'm here as well.
Shall we find a place to stay and then go on our way and reconvene later on?
Sure, there's a place that I always like to stop up and have some food at. It's not much of a resting place, but then again, there's no such thing as a tavern around here. You can have a look at a place called the Big Bite. It tends to be the place that I like resting at.
And where do people sleep if there's no taverns? Just on the floor?
In their homes. Some of them just sleep on the stalls of the markets that they eat at.
But passers-by?
I don't think anyone is anyone in this place. There's also the general, I suppose, sleep houses, if you go to the subfloor too.
Sounds lovely. Grimaces.
Some people just sleep in their wagons, which you're more than welcome to do.
That's what I was doing when I passed through here the first time. I had no idea. I never even stepped outside. She's looking around in awe.
Yeah, it's an interesting location. Well, like I said, I've got some people to speak to. So, I shall leave the horses and the wagon with you, and maybe we can meet tomorrow here at the Big Bite, and then we can set off again.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, look after yourselves, and keep your eyes out for pickpocketers. There's thousands of them here.
Well, I have no money, so they won't be taking anything from me at least.
That's true. I don't think they would dare.
Smart.
He waves you all off with a smile and seems to kind of fade into the crowd and walk into the alleyways.
It's fine. We'll know where he's going at all times. We just look up and we just follow the fucking giant spotlight on him.
Till he goes to, you know.
It's ironic
It's
you
like
say
the
that,
ice.
because now that you've entered
Uh-huh.
into the Novum Bridge in this rolling fog, there is no light that seems to be able to pierce through.
Ah,
He's cheating.
I hate it here.
yes, it's very strange. No places to stay, no taverns to perform in. Horrifically constructed.
No sunlight, no water, no land.
Well, there's
What
lots of
is
water.
this?
It's just down there.
Down below.
Points at the edge.
I wonder how far down that is.
A long
Which is
fucking
weird.
way.
Do you think many people drown here every year? Just, maybe someone gets a bit too pissed and then just falls over the edge. Never seen
They'll
again.
probably die before they fucking drown. Like,
That is not drowning.
Nasty way to go.
Mm.
Yes.
So, who's having a look around? Who's staying here?
If we look around in our immediate vicinity, what do we see? Is it like a jolly marketplace? Is it just people in the streets? Is it
You
gloomy
are...
or is it cheerful?
It's not completely dull here. The fog does stop a lot of light, but it's still noticeably daytime. The autumn leaves from random trees that inexplicably are able to sprite out from some of the parts of the bridge are a nice welcoming addition. There is plenty of people going around. There's market stalls. Sometimes it's a house, then like a random open front shop, and then like another house. Sometimes it's a bigger building. In the distance, you can see a large sign that has kind of like these... the carving wood is designed to look like some sort of lamb chop, and it says the Big Bite on it, which is what Versa was talking about, which is a nice place to grab some food. There's also these like essentially just big shisha bongs that are like laid out in random dots across the bridge that people sit at with these stools and pick up the pipes and just like blow out of them, and they sit and just look over the bridge. They seem to be a communal use. See that as you will.
Right.
But yeah, it seems quite jolly, and by any means, it's not like people are like dancing around, but it's not gloomy and people are with their heads down. People here are from everywhere. Like, you can see every race known to man and every attempt at trade. You can see even like small groups of kids that are probably trying to like take a piece of bread off a nearby bread stall, or maybe even some older pickpockets like bumping into people, being like, "Oh, sorry," and then quickly nicking something out of their pocket. It seems to be almost just like a very populated city. And then if you look over the edges, you can't see the water. You can see a faint tinted green fog that rolls at the bottom before you can see anything else. But you see many lights that like leverage down. Wooden elevators that allow you to go to the different levels of this bridge.
Hmm. Is there, or are we still being watched by a particular bird?
You can keep your eyes out if you want. You can roll perception.
Yeah. It's gotta be something.
17. You look around. There's like an assortment of like Birds that I can only describe as seagulls mixed with pigeons, but there's no little brown birds.
Pigeons. Or peagulls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right, so we're not being watched by a particular bird.
Nope,
Okay.
not that you can see.
What do we need from around here? This area is very heavily connected with gods. Maybe... You know what? I want to go get some knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
There's got to be somewhere around here that can tell us about, you know, the Day of Glint. More about it. If, you know, moon god stuff, god place, that's my connection. Not a very tight one, but better than sitting around here.
Kind of looks like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
No, but Pierce does have a point. If you're going to ask about the gods, I would think this is the right place. And maybe we'll hear something a little less, like, stuck up than what the Radiant Boy was saying earlier.
Hmm. It's very vague, wasn't it?
Oh, they all are. That's how they get you.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go for a wander.
I'll come with.
Let's do it.
Alright, where are we going? Just to a specific place, an establishment, a shop, or where are we going?
I do reckon we try and find. It's either going to be like, most likely a place of worship, or something along those lines. Oh, on the Novum Bridge.
We can look for like some sort of shrine or a temple or something. I doubt there'd be much of a temple, but like a place that's been made to look like something.
Maybe we should specifically look for moon god stuff.
Something to do with Regis, I suppose.
Regis, yeah. Seeing as it is moon stuff. And then while we're there, we can also ask about Solon.
Okay. You can either, obviously, just spend your time walking around with an investigation check, or you can ask people for directions.
Asking people what?
You can talk.
No.
Okay.
I don't need to play it out, but if you're gonna ask someone, they would say that there is a place of worship in the sub-4th floor. They said that there's.
Down.
They said that it's in a cathedral.
You do go down
on the sub-4th floor.
And I'm also going to inquire about how we get down.
He points at the rope wooden kind of like elevators that fall. They can stand on. Someone pulls the lever and it brings you down.
Ah.
All right. Well, that's worth a try.
Interesting. Oh, I'm down for anything once. And then it do go down.
Well,
these do look very unsafe. I'm going to stand in the very center of one.
You stand on the rickety wooden elevator that has a rope that someone has to like then pull a lever that then like it's taut up or loose down. And the man
We're probably not the only two on this thing either.
No, there'll be plenty of others. The man manning the lever looks to you all. That's one copper piece then.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Every time. He's just going to fish out a copper and sort of flick it to him.
Everyone else also disgruntled. Fucking, oh my god, I can't believe I'm paying this man for pulling a fucking lever. And there's like, hand him the coins. Smiles with this rotten mouth, and he smiles. Thank you kindly. Pulls the lever, and then everyone gets off at like different. Everyone gets off at different intervals, and eventually carved onto the wall. It says sub 4, and at that one it stops, and you get off.
Cool.
Much further down, here the light from the sun is very much scarce. As you go under the bridge itself, lighting the rooms now is mainly torches and sconces and lanterns. People here seem to be a bit more dodgy. And there's this, kind of at your feet, kind of rolling up to your ankles at this point, is this kind of, like I explained earlier, this kind of weird mist, like green misty fog.
Interesting.
That's rolling up as you've gone deeper in. It's gotten, like, higher up. You guys wander around. These are like back streets of Zorn, is the only way I can describe this place as you guys wander around.
Oh, no!
League of Legends in my D&D.
The best way I can describe this is literal back streets of slums with torches barely lit, lanterns and lampposts that are like. There's some people that have stolen the glass from the lampposts, and like they thought that maybe they could sell that. You know, like it's a pretty rough sight down here.
Perfect place for a cathedral.
Large shacks and warehouses, and as you get pointed around and going to places, eventually leads up to an opening under one of these large bridge archways, and it's this huge building, cathedral-like, sure enough, built up of like sheets of rusted metal, wood, planks and slate that's cobbled together. Glass windows that have been broken through and destroyed several times over. There's even people that have put paint on the sides that says "fuck off with your gods" and all sorts. But there is still amongst them people that are walking in and, you know, going into the cathedral and coming out of them. On the outside, kind of beckoning, I suppose, you hear a naysayer, maybe a preacher of some sort. A figure that has dulled grey robes with almost no features to maintain themselves humble in the face of those above. He wears like this circular cap that covers the back of his head, a nape that goes down, and a hood that is just barely covering anything, and this shawl that goes over his shoulder. And he's holding open this rotten scroll. And he's preaching to the top of his lungs. Don't let the false gods tell you of what you cannot do. In this church we can show you the path. Here it's better. The Novum have left us. This is why we are in this position. And you can hear him preaching, and people are like walking past. Some of them like throw something at him, like a can or something. Other people are actually like looking at him. And he says, "Your minds are being corrupted by those above. It is us here who've finally seen enlightenment from the voices below. Those who seek guidance from above are those who are being misled. It is the reality, is it not, that the hollow is beneath our feet, and the first person to ever walk was given to us by the precursors, and we see to the stars and not below. Why is it that we do not listen to the ground when that's where the first realm was born?"
What the bloody hell is he talking about?
Oh, he's talking about the hollow.
The what?
The hollow, the void beyond the void.
You're just making words up now.
I wish that I could, but my home was consumed by the thing, so.
You're making things up. No, I wish I was, but you can say that to all my family that's dead back at home if you want, but
You said it was attacked by some ivory king, fella.
Yeah, who came from the Hollow.
Love that.
Ah. Right.
Right.
Well, this can't be good, Pierce. I don't think we've ended up in quite the right place.
Let's talk to the guy at least.
That is the worst idea I think you've ever had. I mean, I'm not exactly a purveyor of the gods myself, but this is also wacky loon shit, and I don't think it's to be believed or
It's wacky loon
encouraged.
shit. It's wacky loon shit. I totally agree with it. But it's shit that we don't know. And it's shit that we should know, so we don't end up dying on the day of Glint or whatever.
Pierce, I could
comes
talk
to
out
pass.
of my arse, and it would be shit that you don't know because you've never heard it before. But I just made it all up. That's what this guy is doing.
Right.
Aside from that, the Hollow is real, yes, but he's just praising it like he's just talking shit. He's not going to ask. He's not going to tell us if we ask about Regis and the Novum gods when he's clearly against what they stand for. We'll have to find the answers ourselves. If you want to talk to him, be my guest, but I do not want to engage with that absolute cretin of a man.
Right. I'm going to approach him.
Very well. You approach him.
I'm going to lean against a post somewhere a few feet away and just put my head into my hand.
He's a man roughly in his late 50s, like I said, wearing dull grey robes and a humble religious cap that covers his back and his nape and his head. He's got wrinkles in his eyes that are either filled with wisdom or madness, and dark brown eyes.
So, not a fan of the Novum gods.
They are poison. Poison to our ears, son of mine.
So what should we be praising then? Dad? No.
The voices.
What should we be looking towards?
He puts his finger to his lips. And he shushes. If you just hear, you can hear the whispers below. That's where we set our pilgrims to. So that we can meet our true God.
This guy's such a schizo.
He really is.
The voices.
I have half a mind to just insult him to death if he's just a fucking dude.
The Hollow stinks.
King, are you? Yeah. The Hollow stinks. Dies.
Dies of death.
You're talking
Dies
about the
fatally.
Ivory King, are you?
No Ivory King here. Just the below. You can hear them. And you'll see when you rest tonight, you will hear the voices yourself. You have an open mind, and I can tell you will hear them. Some do, and then they always end up here. And then we pilgrimage to the underbelly.
Does it go further down from here?
Of course, it is deeper down that only then we can see the true face of our God. There, we can be in its presence.
Its presence? Who are we talking about?
It kind of looks at you, you can see kind of like his... What is your passive perception, actually?
My passive perception is... It's my perception...
So 10 plus whatever your perception bonus is.
Yep. 10 plus 5, 15.
Let me do a cheeky roll here.
You son of a bitch.
Alright, you can see, kind of as you're this close to him and as he's speaking to you, kind of moving from the back of his nape. You can see something like moving in the back. You think it's hair, maybe? But weird. From behind his cap and cloak. Anyway, he keeps speaking. He says, "The chrysalis, that is who? The true god, to be born. And soon, we'll finally have our audience."
I'll take a half step back.
Okay.
So I'll be able to hear them tonight, shall I?
Of course. You are of open mind.
Well, I do like to take all into consideration.
Well, the cathedral of the underbelly is always open to open-minded people.
Came down here seeking knowledge of things to come, so...
What a better place to seek enlightenment. Questions that you can ask the chrysalis herself.
Right.
I'm Bishop Festus, by the way.
Pierce.
Ew.
Festus.
Festering bastard.
Well, with any luck, I shall see you tonight then.
Very well. I hope to see you then. And remember
turn
to
around
keep
and
your
go
ears
to-
out and open your mind.
I'm gonna go back to Ambrose. I'm gonna take him, like, wrap my arm around him. This guy's a fucking lunatic. You were right. I am so sorry. He might be full of bugs.
Got bugs in his
literally.
brain.
Sort of looks over Pierce's shoulder at him. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
You
Do
heard
you
of
still
what
want
he
to
was
have
saying, right?
a look in? No, I kind of zoned out. I heard something about a woman or a bug, a cocoon thing, and then he lost me.
He was talking about the chrysalis. More pronounced.
Oh, that makes it so much better. I know exactly what he's
Oh,
talking
yes.
about now.
He wasn't even talking about the hollow either. He was talking about under this city.
Well, there's water down there, Pierce. And there's bugs in the water. Shall we go in still? Or is this a very off-putting idea now that you've spoken to him?
They were saying his place of worship was further down.
He says that this cathedral that he's next to is his initial place of
Oh.
worship, but then
Okay.
newcomers do pilgrimage to the underbelly to see their god.
Okay.
It's the most sus thing I've ever fucking heard in my life.
I swear to God,
It really is,
if their
dude.
god is the
It
fucking
really
like,
is.
if their god is a vile blood bastard, I'm gonna. Oh,
It sounds vile blood.
It sounds
it's
like
vile
it sounds
blood
like some
coded.
kind of like, yeah, some kind of weird bug thing. So, yeah. Your dude's literally called Festus.
Dude has bugs inside him.
Who's
I don't know
got
about you.
centipedes in his ass.
Bro, I would never use some wordplay on someone's name.
Festus, chrysalis. Just the name chrysalis is already concerning enough.
I reckon he's just a fetid husk for whatever bugs are
I'm
in
gonna
him
fight
already.
Rom at the bottom of the
Yeah.
bridge, Brandon.
Precisely.
Oh,
Oh no, you can just, just skip to tomorrow and then carry on your merry way. It's up to you.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
they're
Well-
they're gonna meet part of it. Extension of nutrition.
I'm gonna go further tonight, further down tonight, and then sub 4. Gonna go get me some protein.
Mm.
Mm.
Some
Crunchy bugs.
grubs. Mm-mm-mm-mm. The ones that kind of
Yeah,
like
it's gonna
blow up in your mouth
it-
when you bite down on them, the big ones.
Yeah, it's got a crunchy, wriggly texture.
Mm.
What is this, the Lion King?
Yep. Yep, 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 yep.
Well, we can still just look in here, Pierce, if you like.
Might as well. He might not even be connected to this place.
Well, we can't be wasting our 1 copper now, can we?
No. Most of it.
So what are you guys doing?
And sort of
We shall.
gonna stroll into the cathedral.
Very well. You roam into the cathedral, which is as hollow on the inside as you expected it to be. It has a large circular window at the top that would, in an ideal world, would have sunlight raining through it and onto the pews, but instead it's broken, shattered, and malformed. The small, rolling green mist is at your feet, and pews, some of them are broken down the middle, some of them are vandalized and graffitied, and some of them maintain their shape. There are about, I'd say, a dozen other acolytes here, with their grey robes and this kind of cap and a hood that covers the back of their head and to their napes. And they're...
Same cap as Festus,
Yeah.
Uncle Festus.
Yeah. And these acolytes are... Two of them are waving these kind of wands of incense at the front. Some of the other ones are just praying, and others of them are kind of like having discussions amongst themselves.
Does this appear to be like a cathedral that used to be for the Novum gods, but has been like, what's the
Can
word?
we,
Desecrated.
can we try and spice some
Eh,
iconography?
Could be. This could be a Syldia Divine Sense angle, but since it's not here.
Yeah, this is definitely a Syldia
Yeah,
thing.
but is there like any symbolism still remaining of the old stuff?
Yeah,
roll
symbolism and
me-
iconography.
Roll me an investigation.
I shall provide you aid.
Having a looky look.
13, not bad. As you kind of go
Almost.
around, you are obviously free to walk around. At the front, where the altar, where I don't know what the fuck it's called, the thing where the lectern where people speak from. Behind that,
Yep,
there
altar.
are 4 remains, crumbles of statues that used to have bowls where maybe people would used to place something of worship for them, and then underneath you can see a patch, a rectangular patch against the stone wall that is slightly lighter than the part around it, as if a plaque used to be there on 2 of them, and then on the other 2 it says the names Aimee, and then on the next one after that one it says Regis. But the other 2 statues that are also completely broken with the bowls desecrated and just destroyed, the plaques have been torn off. And even these plaques, it's very hard to tell. There's got like a small layer of like moss kind of growing over it. Yes, there is evidence that suggests that this used to be a place of worship for the Novum.
And the statues have like been sort of demolished or like half crumbled and stuff.
Yeah.
They're in ruins.
Yeah, exactly. And the bowls
we
where
tell if
people
this
would
was-
put worship has also been defiled and destroyed.
Yeah.
Can we tell if this was purposely done? Or if this was like somebody took a hammer to it?
The way it's kind of destroyed and the way that it's got moss over and stuff like that could suggest both age and
Neglect. Okay.
neglect, as well as also maybe someone bringing some destruction to it. But if someone did decide to vandalize and destroy this place to the point it is, it happened a while ago. To the point now where it's more worn down by time.
And a very silly question. What color is the moss?
It's this kind of like darkened green.
Okay, it's green. I was expecting red, which I'm just like, vile blood.
Oh, that was like green fog as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's green
the
coated.
green. The green fog is interesting. Do you have the light
Sort of-
cantrip? Or light spell, whatever it is?
No.
Ah. I wonder what would happen if we took like a like shone light through it. If it would be just like an emerald green, or I just want to know what this fog is made out of.
I'm sure we'll find out. Like,
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna
in
find
a-
out
in a
tonight with
horrifically
bugs.
disgusting way.
Oh yeah,
Ambrose is gonna like look at the ruins of the statues and like the plaques that have been sort of either aged or completely destroyed, and sort of puts his hands in his pockets and looks up thoughtfully at what remains. Piers,
yeah.
if you were the gods and you could cast judgment on yourself for all your misdeeds or great doings, what do you think you would determine?
That is a very heavy question.
Well, since we're here, of course, and on the topic, I thought I'd just pry a little.
It's been a couple of months since I left my old life behind. With the knowledge I have now, judging my past self, or even me now, I don't think I take kindly to myself.
You say your old life,
Like you.
and well, we both heard what Wade said. Did
Wait,
you?
Wolf?
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Did you do what you did for survival, for money, for fun?
It wasn't for money, primarily. It wasn't for any sort of gain. It was for the betterment of my to make sure that we were all protected.
Preservation.
And I won't lie. Some of it I did revel in.
And going forward?
When I arrived on the shore of Kelmont, I made a promise to leave the old life I had behind, dead and buried. Committed to making myself something more than I am now. I'm not sure how that's going so far. I'm still going through the motions of stealing or scraping together the coin just to get by, drift from place to place. I'm very much disconnected. Do you have a similar story?
Similar enough, I suppose, on the base layers.
So who'd you kill?
That's the trouble, Pierce. They all start to blend together.
Don't I know it?
I figured I was
Is it-
being a little harsh, calling you out, when really I'm in the same boat.
Did you do it out of necessity?
No.
Friend once told me that if you are willing to change, no matter how far gone, there's always a chance. I'm still trying to work out what she meant. I feel like I barely changed. But I'm still trying. So how about, seeing as we are on this journey together, let's try and keep each other in check. I guess I'm recommitting my promise to you. We're both trying to change for the better. We're both trying to figure out how we can right our wrongs. And seeing as we are pretty much walking the same path, we should be able to help each other.
Whoever your friend was, Pierce, they were very wise. Someone told me the same thing. So I think I'll take that promise.
I'll extend my hand. And it's a deal.
Ambrose will hesitate for a moment before taking it as well.
Well, glad we had this chat.
So I ask again, Pierce, what would you determine?
I determine that there's hope. But it's going to be tough. What would you determine?
I think I would send me straight to the lowest pits of hell.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah.
But first, I think, as much as the gods probably agree with that judgment, and I disagree with pretty much everything they do, we should probably get to the bottom of whatever's happening here and see if we can't fix this place up a bit.
Yeah. You think's better than you found it.
Been trying that for a long time.
It's time that started. You reckon this will be something that Sunboy will want to know, this chrysalis?
Possibly. I mean, he doesn't ally himself with the Novum gods, and he also doesn't seem to ally himself with whatever this is, so maybe he's just uninterested. The others will certainly be interested, though.
I don't think anybody wants to get eaten by bugs, so...
No, and this gas is particularly strange. Does it... Are you feeling okay? Do you smell anything funny, or...?
Do I?
I mean, the general smell, which you can smell as well, Ambrose, it's not particularly nice. It is a pestilent and putrid down here, and there's not really much clean of fresh air. But at the moment, Piersney, this fog that rolls around your ankles doesn't seem to be affecting you. You feel pretty safe of mind.
I mean, it stinks. By the worst of it.
Let's hope that's the worst of it. Maybe we should get back to where the air is cleaner.
Please.
All right.
And, yeah, I will hands in pockets again. Sort of make my
I'm
way out of the
going-
cathedral.
I am going to leave a silver in Regis's bowl.
Do you call to a prayer or a thought when you do? Or just a passing?
I often do most of my jobs in the cover of night. So if anybody's watching, it's going to be Regis. So in passing, then I'll leave that behind.
Very well. Leave that in the bowl and you walk out. As you guys form a thought, a pact, a resolution, in quite one of the more desecrated places that could be found on the corners of here, is quite fitting for two people that maybe found themselves desecrated. So, you guys return up through the wooden lift that brings you back up to the top floor, the top of the Novum Bridge. And you may reconvene with the others who have been walking around the stalls and looking at places to eat and whatnot. Where would you all want to gather up?
Are there any places which serve good tea?
Yes, there is a place that's called a Pinch of Seaman. And you could...
Pinch of semen.
Fuck my life.
Stop.
Come on, it's Seaman. What do you expect?
It's
Someone
fine.
kick these two.
Children, a lot of you.
Get him out of here.
Yep.
Actual children, bro.
Sorry. I ruined the moment.
But you could, from there, the scent of several different teas begin to waft you away as a tea connoisseur.
Hell yeah. It's tea time, baby.
Alright, you could enjoy
Celwydd
yourselves. You could,
will follow Syldia, yeah.
Join me.
You can purchase any collection of 10 tea bags you wish, and that could be either jasmine or golden honey, or it could be star anise, it could be whatever you want. And you can get 10 kind of like clumps of tea leaves that would then have to obviously be dilated through the water for 2 silver for 10. I don't know what to call them really. Packs, rations. I don't know.
Well then, I will spend 4 silver for 20.
Very well. You may add that into your inventory and enjoy some tea here. They have, if you do purchase in shop, they allow you to use their kettle and well, not kettle, their fucking teapots and their cups of ceramic here. So once you've purchased, they point you to the way to the milk and everything else that you could use here if you want.
I'll use the milk, but I'll use my own tea brewing kit.
Oh, genius! Love that for you. Very well. For anyone looking for a bite to eat, you would be able to go to the Big Bite, which is probably one of the nicest smelling places here for food. But yeah, you may all...
Is there a big gulp?
There is not a big gulp. That's what you do after you take a bite out of the Big Bite.
Oh.
Big gulp cup. That's a thing in America, isn't it?
Probably.
Sounds familiar.
I believe so.
So yeah, where do you all want to gather just randomly on the streets? So...
I do believe we shall gather.
I vote we gather at the tea shop. Reconvene
Tea-
whilst having a nice brew.
Love
Tea
that.
and tomes are always a good fit, so.
Tea and tomes. That's comfy.
Love that for you. Very well. Then you all gather at the Pinch of Searman. At the little tea shop here. You can all reconvene. What do you want to do?
Well, not much information gathered. But, who's taking watch tonight?
Is there a need for
Was it?
watches?
I don't think we
You
talked
wanna
about
keep
that
watch?
yet.
Well, unless you would all like to be consumed by bugs that whisper in the night.
Nothing will consume me.
What are you
They
talking
whisper
about?
in the night.
What?
Bugs do not whisper.
Well, according to some weirdo downstairs, they do.
He is wrong.
Who have you
Guess
been
we'll-
talking to?
Clearly no one's sane.
Yeah, no, this guy was insane and possibly full of bugs himself.
Well, it sounds like a him problem.
Why are you talking to a bug man?
I would like to meet him.
No. That dumb weirdo downstairs, calling themselves Festus. He goes by. He was talking about his denouncement of the Novum gods, which is always not fun. But when he was talking about whispers from below, he wasn't talking about the Hollow. He was talking about the Chrysalis.
So something unborn then, or unhatched.
Or a literal chrysalis.
While walking around Eldrith, because you said that you were going to be walking around stalls and stuff, you would
yes.
have possibly not been able to keep away from the fact that you hear people murmuring and talking about people disappearing. Things like, I'm tired of people not turning up, or family saying she hasn't returned since she went down, or this is the 4th person that's gone missing this week.
Oh god, not little Timmy. Actually, no, fuck little Timmy, he can go.
No, not little Timmy! No!
And those of you at the tea
No
shop
one likes Timmy.
would have probably also heard very similar strands. Or maybe even the salesmen themselves saying, you know, be wary or keep your eyes out. People have been going missing.
Hmm.
Do you think it would be worth looking into these disappearances?
Possibly.
I'm personally not a fan of letting innocent people just disappear all the time, but it just depends if we have the time to deal with it.
Do we have any proof that they're involved, though? Outside of the fact that they're raving lunatics.
While I was talking to Whackjob Festus,
Mm-hmm.
could have sworn I saw something crawl beneath the skin. Might be my imagination.
Beneath his skin?
It might be. He also said that we would hear whispers in the night if we keep an open mind. I don't know if that's a really good thing.
Oh, no mind more open than mine, I suppose. I'll keep watch. I'm curious.
Yeah,
about
you're in
these whispers.
danger.
All knowledge puts you in some form of danger. I'll wager mine on it.
You sound like you deal with a lot of volatile stuff.
If you're an idiot, maybe. But if you're around, you'll be just fine.
All right. What are we doing for the rest of the day then? We would like to pass time, I guess.
Gonna find somewhere safe to spend the evening.
Yeah, we
Well,
would
we
like.
could
I
either-
guess we should find a sleep house. You said.
Yeah, you could either do that, you can inquire about people missing, investigate, it's up to you. We've got plenty of time.
That is a good point. We do have time till tonight. In a shanty town like this, there probably isn't a main authority. But, hey, Eldrith, where did you hear, the first lot of news of people disappearing?
Has it just been all over the place, Brandon?
Yeah, it's just
Like,
been
e-
scattered
like,
about.
like even
just,
right now.
Just walking around in the stores when you've been looking at little small curios or stuff like that, you can just hear people in the background just saying, like, something to do with someone not coming back. Even the people that are sat on the stools or those kind of, like, tall shisha towers that I talk about that, like, blow into it and look over the bridges, even they sit there and just talk about it idly.
Like even right now, right? Like even
Yeah,
like
if
the
you're acute,
proprietor
yeah,
of the
I was
tea
about to
shop.
say, yeah, even if now you're acute, you're hearing slightly, maybe you might be able to hear someone having some sort of conversation.
Everywhere, really.
I'm gonna jump off the cart and walk into the tea shop.
Mm-hmm.
Walk up to the counter and meet.
A roughly 20s, 20 maybe young 20s man, sun-kissed skin, possibly from Seaman himself. He wears this orange silk-clothed turban, a long kind of mustache that goes over his mouth and over his chin. He's got these jade green eyes and is wearing kind of these long, again, orangey robes. And he kind of looks your way. Is there anything I can help you with?
Well, your tea is fantastic. Thank you so much for that. But Newmantown, passing through, as we were, but of course, it's all over the place. What's with the disappearances?
Who isn't new in town these days, really? Well, the disappearances are... You kind of cleans out the inside of a teacup. Quite sad, really. I was really hoping that the rumors would stop after the first few weeks, but they haven't.
Okay.
People are always saying that the girl missing further down. Lower floors.
What is the lowest floor, may I ask?
Sub 6. After that point, it becomes the underbelly. And you don't want to go there.
Does it go below the... Does that fog just stay the entire way down? Because me and my friend went down to sub 4 earlier.
As soon as you get to about sub 5, sub 6, that's all you can see and smell. People only really go down there to work. Mining. Salvaging
fog?
boat scraps, etc. It's a good question. It's been here since I arrived. No one's really thought of it. Some people just think it's rotten mist from the morning dew that hasn't got a place to escape to. Some people say that it's festering sea creatures that die. It's hard to say.
You've got no clue yourself about the disappearances.
Well, I have heard that the last person that went missing was last spotted in the Underbelly Cathedral on subfloor, saying that they went there after having their mind opened.
Is there a semblance of authority around here? Somewhere where I can gather more information about this?
Nope. No authority here. It's living for the sake of living.
Do you know who else I can ask about disappearances?
Any other one that has a lot of people walking by? Stalls, marketplaces, anywhere that's popular, really. Or maybe you could go down to the cathedral and check yourself, since that's the last place that most people seem to be seen.
Been there, done that. Do not really want to go back. Right. Thanks for the tips.
No problem. Thanks for the business.
Glad we could help. Okay. I'm going to return to the cart. Right. So, no clue. Not even sure what the green mist is. But, people have been going, same information and stuff. People have been going to the Underbelly Cathedral, where me and Ambrose just went to earlier. And they disappear from there. After having their minds opened.
So there's a spooky cathedral cult that's kidnapping people.
It's sounds more like brainwashing, to be honest. Because people are going down there willingly.
After talking
Willingly
to
in big
bugs?
air quotes.
Going somewhere willingly and not coming back is not willingly. It does not mean brainwashing. They could have died.
Or
I'm saying they were
coerced through very
brainwashed
forceful
before.
means.
Either way, it's bad.
Are we gonna have to
Saying
go to the
to,
spooky cathedral?
Might be one for Syldia to come down and check it out with. You're more in tune with God stuff.
Considering I'm a somewhat pious woman, sure.
Is it rude to ask which you follow?
Not rude. I follow the dreamer.
The Dreamer.
Not the most common one to worship, but I guess my worship is more casual to an extent. It depends on the day.
Casual dreamer. Sounds like a daydream. Interesting. Well,
Yes, I could check out this underbelly cathedral, see if there's anything interesting there.
you check out Buckboy as well while you're down there.
Sure. Anyone else want to come along, or
I'd like to see the spooky cathedral.
we can make a field trip of it?
Someone's got to wash the
Nothing better
horses.
to do. I was going to sit next to this building all day.
If you guys want to, we can, but I hate it here. I do not want to help.
You don't have to come investigate this cathedral if you don't want to.
I do not want to get lost.
You won't get lost. It's okay.
Do you want to stay with you with the cart?
No, I think it is more dangerous here. It is safer with you.
He's probably right.
So, who's looking after the horses then?
We should probably find an inn. They could have a stable.
This
That's
place
the
is
problem,
very
though.
unstable.
There are no inns.
This... This place is the worst.
This
So
place
real
is
for
the
that.
worst.
To be fair, they're not our horses.
Yeah, but they're our main mode of transportation to get to where we need to go.
We have legs.
Plus,
It's not like he told us not to leave them unattended.
True.
no, I think he did.
He did.
Well, he probably assumed that we had the sense to not do that.
What would he do if he was here alone?
Well,
If he'd come here by himself, I'm sure he wouldn't have just left them around, but they're his responsibility, not ours.
If he came here by himself, he probably would have walked, considering his
Well,
Tell you
then
what.
general demeanor.
I'm
we'll
still
be
here.
fine walking.
I do enjoy the comforts of a carriage, but if
I'll
Dawn
go
wants to
sit on
look
the
after
cart.
the horses,
I'll keep watch over the cart. Go enjoy yourselves.
thank you,
Sure.
Hjarlgron.
He just
You're
lies
never
down in the
reliable.
back of the cart.
Yeah.
Well, no
Takes
one's
up the
stealing
entire
it now.
floor.
Yeah.
Anyone tries to take it, I'll have some fun. Otherwise, go enjoy yourselves.
Sure. I mean, as enjoyable as this could be.
Very well.
Let's go. It's a copper each. for the
Removing
episode.
one copper from each one of you.
Unless, when
Well,
we
that
get
happens, I'm
to
gonna
the
play on Warzone.
elevator,
You fool.
when we get to the lift, I'm assuming he's going to be like, "Oh, it'll be one copper, please."
Of course.
No.
Yeah. As we step onto the lift, I'm casually just going to wave my hand and create mage hand next to the lever, and just ka-chink
Ah.
myself.
We can fucking do it ourselves.
And I'm
boy.
gonna look him in the eye as I do it.
Okay, yeah, sure. You grab the mage hand and grab the
Stick a
pole
middle finger.
and pulls it, and you all begin going down. And you just hear at the top, what? How did that happen then? And then you just hear the voice kind of eventually fade into the echoes above, and you can see him pretty pissed.
Let's give up there.
Eventually, you're let back off at sub 4, where the Gran Underbelly Cathedral is, not too far into the distance.
Green mist, let's go.
But yeah,
Just a warning, it really smells down here.
the pungent and fetid scent already
Jeez.
hits your noses.
What a lovely environment.
Mm,
What does the smell like
very rich
again?
in omega-3.
Just carcass and stench and rot.
Lovely.
Mm.
Smells like a morgue with the heating on down here.
Stinky rotty.
Smell the word that it brothel.
This place kind of gross, guys.
It's kind of stinks. Not gonna lie.
So you go up to the cathedral, you see plenty of acolytes within, and the Bishop Festus himself also on the outside, still trying to, corral people.
That's Pierce's
Walk in?
newest friend.
No, it's not my friend.
Was this the one you said had bugs in his skin?
Yeah.
Can I see if he has bugs in his skin?
You may roll perception to look at him precisely.
I famously good at perceiving.
I shall roll.
10.
No, you can't see much. You see that his back of his head and his back and his nape are all covered by a hood and a hat, but no wriggling.
Well, he doesn't look like he's got bugs in his skin.
Where'd you get closer?
Okay.
Well, might as well divine sense.
I swear to God.
You cast Divine Sense. Around here,
Boom.
the detection of celestials, fiend, or undead is nowhere to be seen. However, this entire building has been utterly desecrated, and you are aware that from this desecration, it's linked to further below, and the desecration that has occurred here, whatever this desecration is, or whoever's performed it, has bound something to it that creates this noxious odor. But at
And
this level,
below.
it doesn't affect. But any further down, it might indeed have some effects.
Oh no. Her eyes
I don't. No, I
glow a
feel
bit more red, and then she's like, "Oh, that's not quite ideal.
that. What's up?
Seems like there's some sort of magic desecrating this cathedral, and it's causing this all weird stuff originating from below."
No.
So they made it like this on purpose.
Someone did.
Could be a cover up, I guess.
And I don't know. I just know that the source is below if we want to find out.
Looking around, do we see an obvious way to go below the cathedral?
Just from this surface point, no, but you did find out earlier that there are 2 more floors that go down,
Two
and then
levels
something
below,
called and
yeah.
then something called the underbelly below that.
Right.
and to Piers and to, Ambrose by proxy, the Bishop Festus said that they do pilgrimages to the underbelly.
Yeah.
There appear to be any obvious, like, stairs down, tunnels, anything like that coming from the cathedral?
I meant when I asked, like a hatch or something.
You guys can, like, perceive, if you want, you can have a walk around the cathedral and around this place and roll perception if you want to look for a bit something in, like, in a bit more detail. If you want to do that.
Now that we have Lady with us, I might do that.
17. Looking around and, like, doing a full lap to this big cathedral, you could see that the back of the cathedral, if you keep going, Pierce, you would see the same. If you keep going further back and follow it, it eventually kind of, obviously the bridge technically quote-unquote ends, and you can see the railing and then off the side. And you can see far more thick kind of odor and gas from here, and you can see, like, to the floors below, and then it blocks out from the thickness of the fog. They might either... There's a possibility that they either, like, scale down. Maybe there's something within the cathedral that allows them to go down if you want to go into the cathedral. But you'd have to, like, obviously go in. Or maybe they just take the elevator.
Pierce, go ask your old pal.
Really?
You're gonna have to. Sound interested.
You've talked to him before.
Fine. Fine.
Have fun.
Fine. Hello again, Festus.
Have you returned with a far more open mind? I feel a glint in your...
I'll come seeking more information, I guess.
They always do.
I hate you. I hate you and I hate this.
She'll be right.
She'll be right, mate. Don't worry about it. Well, is it like a every night thing? You do your pilgrimages?
There's no specific time to wait for pilgrimage. We go when the individuals are ready.
Ah.
Are you inquiring because you wish to seek enlightenment too?
Curiosity is starting to get the better of me.
That's wonderful.
I hate it.
I would be more than happy to go with you on your pilgrimage to the underbelly.
Ah. Well, I need to get my affairs in order. Where do you meet, or where do we head down to from here?
From here, you head further below. Sub 6, and there, the non-constructed path begins.
Unconstructed.
A delve into the underbelly. Guided by the whispers in your head, only then would you be able to see the chrysalis.
How many times have you done this pilgrimage yourself, may I ask?
Hundreds, maybe. All as revealing, as divine as the last.
Okay. Well, when the time is right, I shall see you.
Of course. Keep your mind open.
I'm trying to, I guess. I'll see you later. Right, so I walked away from this guy, out of earshot, back to the group. So, guys, still a whack job. I hope you could glean that from seeing the guy. He's made the pilgrimage hundreds of times. You need to have an open mind and listen to the whispers in order to find the unconstructed path in sub-6.
When he says like unconstructed path, what does that mean? Like an invisible floor.
It sounds like when you go down there, you can only go by the whispers in your head.
Do you have any whispers in your head?
Not. Immediately cast messages on Pierce. Ooh, bugs, whispers.
Pierce,
No
can you hear
whis-
me? It's me, the voice in your head.
Oh, it's so good to see you today. How are you?
We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Yo,
Oh
do
my
you mean
God.
cards?
It's a Geico.
It's the Geico Gecko.
What the fuck was that
What
noise?
was that?
The bugs?
Who's scurrying?
It was the bugs. In your head.
Oh god, they're under your skin.
It's the
Yeah.
bugs behind you. It's
We're coming for your skin.
Don't worry, it's
Their new
just-
home.
It's just the bugs burrowing behind your eyeballs. Don't worry about it.
I can't help but notice your skin feels uncomfortable. Maybe you should rip it off.
Do you like the way your skin feels in your body? You don't.
Oh boy, do I have a solution for you.
Introducing potato peeler. No, that's
God.
horrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
With just a
Anyway,
normal kitchen
moving
implement, you
on,
can become the comfiest
Moving
you've
on.
ever felt in your
I don't
life.
want to talk about it anymore. We're moving on.
Very well.
No whispers out of the ordinary.
Out of the
Oh.
ordinary.
Out of the ordinary. Yeah, hold on.
No new neighbours up in this noggin. Don't worry about that.
Just the usual gang.
Yeah.
Just the 16
Yeah.
tenants.
But, it might be a case of I stake this place out, maybe with Ambrose. It might be a case of I play or act as though my mind is open to the whispers. Or, I don't know how deceitful I could be to get away with it. I kind of don't want to be infested, to be honest.
Just hold your breath.
Right. Just hold my breath. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Me spitting.
Did you see more bugs
Did I see more bugs?
under his skin when you talk to him?
Using the same roll of the 25 earlier, you definitely feel like you can see some sort of like tail maybe at his neck.
The bug is like
We should
in
probably
his head.
investigate that
It's
out
like
of character.
sloped
It's
up.
probably under his
brain.
hat, yeah.
Yeah, it's under his hat and it's like sloping his brain. He's
Oh,
being
then that's
piloted by
Louis.
a bug.
Yeah.
It's driving a mech suit of skin and bone and
Mhm.
flesh.
Not a mech suit, a flesh suit.
Mage
Look, I'm
hat
going to
is-
suggest
and
something
mage
as well.
hand is hat off. Yeah.
If we're looking for some sort of unformed or hidden path, and it goes down and down and down, why don't I just walk along the walls and the ceilings and whatever else until I get there?
As far as we know. The lowest floor is for mining operations, so it's either going to be an open cave or just open floor. And even then, it's supposedly goes deeper than that. If there is more than one person on this pilgrimage, or something along those lines, we could try and tail one of the victims that go down there tonight.
That sounds doable.
Do we have a way to like, or is there like some magic way we can like keep track of me as I disappear into the fog?
Don't you have that brain Bluetooth thing?
Brain
Bluetooth PM.
Brain
You
tooth
did it
on
when we were
God.
in the cave. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't
I
remember
mean,
what you
I
called it.
can do that, but I don't know if it'll go beyond a mile.
I think it's better than what the rest of us have.
No,
I
yeah.
don't have shit.
No, I don't have anything that can like keep you in contact or like keeping tabs on you. Unless I just. No, that won't work. Never mind.
Nice. So it's definitely going to be my specialty thing.
In theory, if there were only you people going down there, I could scan the environment and look for humans, but I don't know how many are down there.
Hmm. Do you know of? That's a long shot. Could you turn into like a bloodhound or something?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. You know what? Fair question.
I will try.
And I'm gonna turn into a robotic bloodhound.
Do we have those?
Do we have those? Can I pet
Well,
that
I guess
dog?
it's
No.
just
It'd be
a
just
dog.
any- Yeah, just
Just
a dog. Yeah.
You can turn into a dog for sure.
Dog champ.
Sniff things.
Bark, bark.
Roar for our.
You're a cute little robot dog. I'm gonna pet Doig.
Nice.
Doig.
I like that. Doig. Doig is good.
Doig is good.
You're welcome.
What's Doig doing?
Standing here. He wasn't told to do anything else, and he can't talk now.
Bark.
But he can listen to commands, I guess. Yeah.
Right. So, if I disappear, you should be able to track me by scent. Is my theory.
Bark.
Great.
He is saying bark for the record.
If I go now, no, we should reconnect with Sunboy before we do this thing, just in case. I don't know. I really don't want to go alone.
Then don't. Take everyone with you.
We can
That
all
was
act
a
as the
tone of voice for do it and die.
Yep. We could all go down and pretend like we've been infected, or I could go and then you could follow behind with the scent, with Doig here.
You guys got this.
Yeah, I believe entirely.
I don't.
Keck, tankless.
I do not. I don't
Enjoy
want to.
it.
Listen,
Enjoy death, guys.
You're just napping up there,
Oh no,
oblivious.
Hjarlgron's playing the wardroom, just singing some fucking hymns.
Hell yeah,
He's
he's
busking.
busking.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no,
la, la.
not even busking, he's just bored. He's lying
How
down
do we
on
react
the
if
cot.
people start like throwing coins at
Okay, let's go back up. I reckon we go back up and we reconvene with Sun.
No, don't be bitch, go down, go on.
No, we're not doing it now. We're going back up.
Fucking bitch.
We're doing it
man.
later.
Have a nap and see how you feel in the morning. See if you hear any whispers.
Exactly. I'm gonna have a nap and see how I feel.
Do you hear the voices too?
The bells.
Electric boogaloo. So what's the plan then, homies?
We go back to the cart. We wait for Sunboy that I've genuinely forgotten the name of.
Versa.
Mr. Vice.
Vice versa. Yeah.
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 Jesus, Chibi.
All right.
Let's get it.
I meant. Yeah.
Then, Hjarlgron, you see as your party rejoins you, only maybe 30 minutes later, back at the cart. And you guys decide to wait up here, do whatever else you want, and after maybe 3 or so hours, Versa would return to you guys with a big bone and a slab of meat at the end of it, a big drumstick, as he eats out of it. Oh, there you are.
Oh.
Sorry, it's just every time that I go past the big bite, I can't help myself. Have you all enjoyed your day?
It's been interesting.
It's been fun. Hjarlgron says with the most dead-looking expression, he is bored out of his fucking mind. He's,
Oh.
like, all you hear is just... as he's tapping his wardroom, he's like... he looks ready to just give up.
So
I did hear some rumors
we
of people saying that they saw Goliath playing a wardroom. I'm assuming that was you.
That'd be correct.
Did you also hear rumors of disappearances while you were walking around?
Oh, not really. Why? What's been going on?
Well, it turns out something called the Chrysalis lives well below down here.
Is that like a creature?
No clue. Down on sublevel 4 at some underbelly cathedral, there's a dude was saying that was rejecting the Novum gods, or any god that for that matter, for it's only the whispers below that matter.
Cathedral of heretics, you say?
Sounds like it.
Why, are
He
you
puts
interested in
the-
taking them out?
He puts the slab of meat into the cart. Perhaps I could do one more job whilst I'm here.
Oh shit, homie! He's in.
He's gonna
Frozen
fucking,
running.
like, roundhouse kick this guy.
So it sounds like
You and your bugs.
every
kind
night
of like
there are
slightly lift up. Why are we going to take them out?
Well, of course I'll have to make sure that all of this is true. Not that I disbelieve you, but I've got to see it myself. If it is,
are we?
if it's a cathedral full of people of heretics that reject the Novum gods and, by extent, any gods, then yes, the light must be brought to them.
You just see Hjarlgron slam the wardroom down in the cart, stand up. I'm bored. I want to hit something. Let's go.
Hold on.
We have the
It's not
Radiant
just the
with us. We'll be fine.
It's not just the cathedral where they're gathered. Apparently, every night, people who open their mind to the whispers find themselves on a pilgrimage far below, sublevel 6. And using the guidance of the whispers, they follow the unconstructed path to wherever.
That sounds awfully heretical.
Oh, and speaking of heresy, there's also some sort of strange magic below which is desecrating the cathedral which they reside in.
I feel
Desecration,
like all
you
he
say?
hears. I was gonna say, I feel like all he's hearing is Have to kill them.
His
They're all disgusting.
his
filthy.
sky blue eyes turn to like a red dawn. Interesting.
Uh-oh. Red sun.
Yes,
I don't know
it was quite unpleasant, I must say.
Desecration of
Just
holy
put a
ground.
fucking hit on this wolf.
Disgusting. On the Novum Bridge as well, no less. Perhaps we can do this two ways. I could take care of the cathedral, and you guys could follow this path. You see,
Yeah.
consecration is one of my specialties. Perhaps I can bring some light to that cathedral.
Well, I must warn you, the desecration is active. It's bound to something deep below. So, I'm not sure how successful you'll be.
You
Guess
could
I'll just have to
always-
make sure that my consecration is stronger.
You can deal with the stuff on the subsurface, and then we can go down to the subsurface and deal with it there.
That sounds like an excellent plan, Pierce. I'll take care of the heretics, and you take care of, I don't know, whatever this, whispering thing is. It sounds to me, and he begins, like, rubbing his chin. Whispers, madness, and some sort of creature. All of those things seem to be somehow related to the Violet Sea. But surely not here. It wouldn't make any sense.
It would be improbable at most. Well, impossible.
Well, the
Unless...
dude did have like a bug tail sticking out of him.
Maybe they've given their minds. That's okay. He seems confident. I will make sure that the church is consecrated.
I will double
Oh,
desecrate the
I mean-
church.
Oh,
Did you say
double
there was a-
desecrate.
There was a tail?
Yeah. Something riding under the back of his head.
Does that mean we can take him out?
I think that is more than reason to take care of some heretics. To be fair, you had me sold at heretics.
He's probably the one who has to take me to the ultimate goal of the chrysalis, so we can deal with that.
His faith is too strong.
So if anything, we've got to play victim so we can get further in.
I suppose you can't. You're saying that you can't just go down there and walk into where that place is and take care of it.
Apparently, the path can only be revealed to those who open their minds.
And if it is indeed the Violet Sea, then it's more hazardous than just walking in there.
It's going to be easy to follow a person who knows the way, and so that we don't end up infected and still able to go, if that makes sense.
Very well. And I shall wait at the cathedral underbelly? Underbelly Cathedral? Make sure that he can show you the way, and then I'll take care of the rest. We'll be done by sunup.
We
Nice,
should
man.
also probably add, you know, this is a holy place, and regardless of which god you follow, you probably shouldn't just blow the place up, if that's what you're planning.
He kind of like recoils his head. Oh, I'm not blowing anything up. I'm not Thera.
Well, forgive us, but that is our only experience with your bloodline, so.
Fair enough. No, I will merely just bring the light and consecrate the grounds again. Keep it safe.
Right.
Well, I
Well,
wish you luck with
let's-
that, and I suppose we will probably try and deal with the thing which is causing the desecration.
Seems well suited. Our first adventure together. Wow. We'll even have a story to tell once we arrive at the other sacred flame. This is going wonderfully. You can see I'm very happy.
I love him, but I know he's a bad guy.
don't know. We don't.
He is
know.
bad guy, but he's not bad guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Guys,
So, might I ask if you are the
Is-
younger brother?
Lucian. He's the youngest of us.
There's fucking more of these freaks! And where do you sit between them?
I'm the middle. Thera's the oldest, I'm the middle, and Lucia's the youngest.
I assume Lucian is also very involved in all of your operations.
Yes, very much so. We're all bound by, I suppose, the same event.
God, there's more of these motherfuckers.
And there's an event.
That was just these two.
Is
Guys,
your Lucian
I know what I must
as
do.
hot-tempered as your well, not hot-tempered, I suppose. Cold as your sister.
He can be at times, but at others he's quite calm and collected. Sometimes he likes asking why to everything, which don't always put him in the good books.
Sounds like I could get along.
Possibly.
Trios are always good. So, let's get this horror show on the road.
Imagine it'd be
What are
that
we doing with the
badly.
cart if we're? What are we doing with the cart if we're all going down there?
Oh, we'll leave it here.
We had this argument earlier. Is that safe?
Of course it is. They know it's mine. They won't touch it.
That's ominous, and I'm spooked by that. But okay.
Well, if you're confident, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I have faith in the goodwill of people.
Awfully good-willed, this man.
And then his faith is broken, and then he brings down the wrath of Solon upon this bridge.
I was just gonna say either incredibly nice or incredibly dangerous, and no one would fuck with him.
Somehow
It's probably both.
I love that
Yeah.
like line of ambiguity that everyone has of this character at the moment. Just like, is he just too nice, or is he just so fucking strong that no one dares fuck with this man?
Yeah. Is he just? Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's either that or the sister comes in and nukes the place, you know.
Tactical Thera inbound.
She could just appear.
Dematerializes and the
cover-
bridge dematerializes.
We did cover even in this, even with Versa. There's still no sunlight here, right?
Yeah, you can see bits of it coming through, but not like ordinary where it breaks through clouds and opens up for Versa. This is the only place where the fog and the clouds haven't moved out of the way for him.
Yeah.
There's still light, but it doesn't pierce through clouds and fog and stuff like that.
I wonder why that is. Wink, wink.
Well, I hope I'll have no need of it. But just in case if things do go a bit south. He goes into the carriage and opens up a compartment and pulls out what looks like to be a sheath that's wrapped in loads of holy cloth. And he just places it over places it over his shoulder.
Oh no!
I do hope I don't
He's
have to
more
use
capable.
I sure hope I don't have to use anything, but from the way that you've described them, perhaps they've already lost their will. But normally my words are more than capable to sort out any arrangement. It's better to be prepared than not to be, am I right?
True.
What is that?
This is one of Solon's blessings. It's called the Commandment.
Oh no. And I would imagine that would be one of the many.
Are you all acquainted with Solon's holy blades?
No.
Oh shit!
Am I? Do I
Oh,
need to
no.
religion check?
Yeah, you can do a religion check.
Okie
Rimash,
dokie.
is that you?
Old woman, go. Bzoom.
4, right.
Baller.
No, you're not too aware of them.
Get the
Solon
woman
is
to
one
campaign
of the
one.
Solon is
Yeah.
one of the fewer ones. Eldrith, on the other hand, you are aware of Solon's holy blade. Supposedly, Solon has always had an armory of 7 holy blades. Each one as strong as the last, and they all are designed for some purpose and have some sort of power. Stories say a long time ago, one of the heroes that started bringing up Solon's power was a soldier by the name of Goromash, one that finally actually uncovered and brought all 7 blades back into one, called the Ragnarok, which is when all blades join one.
Shit.
Oh my god.
I don't like that.
The record?
Okay.
So you assume, Eldrith, this is one of those 7 holy blades that Solon has bestowed to his champions.
So, which one of the 7 are these?
This is the commandment.
Oh, it's just called the commandment.
The command. And what power does it wield? I'm quite curious. I'm aware of the 7 blades, but I've never seen one.
Sadly, my pact does not allow me to elaborate, but let's just say I follow the commandments to the T. And so does everyone else around me.
Here.
Oh my god.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Ah, swell!
The second I heard commandment, I was like, ah, he just controls people. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gaslights and gatekeeps you, go bosses.
What a Donny
How he
G.
gets into his religion.
I said, normally my words are enough, but I just need to be extra cautious. I will promise I won't take it out of its bind.
Inside.
Go for it.
Inside check. At least not here, right? Right.
Natural 1, you have no idea. His demeanor's always been the same. It's hard to tell through. However, Hjarlgron, you actually, yeah, he's telling the truth. He seems to think that there can't possibly be a event where taking this out of its holy sheath is actually worth it. He seems to think that the power without taking it...
So
he seems to believe that without taking it out of its holy sheath is more than enough. He just needs it with him.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That means this is just a lick of what he's capable of.
Oh
hate it.
dear. So we need to separate boy from sword.
Needs to separate boy from son.
That is good info. True.
Yeah.
Shall we then? He says with an overconfident, almost as if he's just going to a party smile.
I'll look to the rest of you lot. Lead the way.
Okay. This is going to be who wants to be connected to Pierce?
Go for it, bro.
I'm going to quickly pee whilst you sort that out.
How many can you do?
Sonic power, reading. Action, choose one or more creatures I can see up to the number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus.
So we can do
So
2
two.
at the minute.
What's the max range?
A mile.
You might want to do one on our little fucking sun twink,
On
is
Versa?
true.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
so we
This
can
is
chat
in
to
my
him.
Interesting. I mean, that would be good for communication. Be just like, hey, you've dealt with this sort of thing before. What do we do?
You know,
Also, he
imagine if,
can't-
like, doing this, you get, like, 3 times the whispers to yourself.
Do you hear the voices and the voices and the voices?
Yeah, I think one would be smart to do Versa, and then one just another.
I would like
Ugh.
stop with the scuttling.
Right.
Put your hands away.
Speaking of scuttling, let's scuttle to sub 4.
Let's go.
I'm going to talk with Versa as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Right, so I've got a talent. It'll keep us in constant communication with one another for a couple hours.
Roll those hours, baby.
So it's going to be... So pretty much, I'm going to connect yourself, Versa. I'm going to connect myself to Eldrith. I'm like a relay tower.
Oh,
if you ever
don't
need to
connect
pass
to
on.
me. I'm following you.
You're following me? Okay. Just Versa then?
Oh,
Or
we're all going together except for him.
We're
You
all
might as well
going.
just connect to one of us.
just to Versa? Okay.
No, like
Right,
him
so-
and one of us. Just
Yeah,
just pick.
yeah.
someone.
Just pick someone.
Syldia. Do you know what? Syldia is a good choice.
Old woman. Oh,
Oh,
My
she
old age
aging
is coming
gracefully.
back to me. I'm hearing voices in my head. What's
Right.
going on?
The dementia's kicking in.
Some
Right.
form of telepathy. I think my
Is that my
sisters-
late husband?
My sisters used something like this before.
Okay. Yeah, just look at me real quick. For a split second, Versa will see that Pierce's eyes turn into a slit and then turn back.
No.
And we should be connected for 1d4 hours. 1d4, 1d6 hours.
3 hours. Nice.
It is-
Glow, as
Which
dog,
parents?
As dog.
As
does
dog.
he get a general sense of where the smell is coming from, or is it just the city?
It's
or is
coming
there,
from
like,
the
a-
depths. Like you can tell that the stench is not just on sub 5 and sub 6. It's coming from
no,
like
it's
the
D6.
underbelly. You know that something's riddling the underbelly.
On one
3
side or
hours.
the other, or just kind of the whole thing
yeah,
down there?
just the whole lot of it down there is spreading
Alright.
quite evenly. At least from this distance anyway. Maybe once you
Yeah,
get further
yeah.
down there, you might be able to start like pinpointing places out. But yeah.
For sure. I just should know, like, if let's say the source was on the north side of the city only, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I'm going to communicate telepathically with Versa,
Mhm.
and this is what it sounds like in your head.
Yes, something. I've had this before. It's not too uncomfortable.
Good. Okay.
Right, so he
Is it-
kind
is-
of gets to sub 4 and he steps off. Are you guys going straight down or?
We've got to join you. Well, we've got to go to the cathedral first. We've got to talk to Festus, and then Festus leads us on our pilgrimage.
Oh, okay, very well. Right, you all walk up to
This
the
is
cathedral,
weird.
and he looks at it, and you can see Versa's face kind of sadden. What have they done to you? Well, I'll wander into the cathedral now. Suppose we separate here?
We shall.
Good luck, and hopefully I'll see you by sunup. Gives you all a thumbs up and a smile. And he,
Thumbs up.
with his sheath over his shoulder, he walks into the cathedral.
Is there other people approaching Festus here, or is there starting
There's
to
a
be
couple of-
congregation?
There's a couple of randomers here.
Okay. Nobody with things on their heads and tails sticking out.
There was a couple of acolytes at the cathedral door that Versa walked past. And probably more acolytes inside, but outside, no, just those two.
I would like to smell him.
You'd like to smell the bishop?
Yes, I would like to find any insect or animal. Or try to. Because he's been told there's something on him.
Okay, you can roll a perception check with Sneefer.
Roll for
Sniffer?
sniff.
Or Sneefer?
Sneefer?
Roll for Sneefer.
Sniffer.
Sneefer.
Or Sneefer?
Sniffer Lockhart.
Do I get advantage with Sneepa?
I believe so, because you're a dog.
Hell yeah.
Oak
Yeah,
Sneefer?
is it like keen hearing and smelling? sense?
Yeah.
You can
Yes.
smell that this man is man, but also
He's
the
man.
the odor of something foul coming from like its upper back, like honestly foul, almost makes you like dog reflex gag, like
Yeah, probably just dead body, yeah.
Ugh.
Ew.
This dude might be dead. Interesting.
He's
Here
gonna
we go.
growl at him a
Skipper.
little bit.
Oh my god, Sneeper!
My god,
it's-
Sneeper?
It's that, but the
Sneeper.
scent of a dead body.
Yummers.
Stinky. He's got some
Yummy.
stinky cheeses.
What the dog doing?
He's
He
sneaking.
is gonna be growling at the bishop just a little, like for a couple seconds.
Grrr.
Right, so are you... What are you guys doing now that you're with Bishop and stuff? That's not 3, it's
We
8 minutes.
put on an act.
Okay.
I'm gonna request backup from from Ambrose.
In what manner?
I'm gonna, I guess, go with the flow. Be just like, oh, Father Festus, or Bishop Festus, we've come to start our pilgrimage. Our mind is open to the whispers. The chrysalis speaks to us. Mumbo jumbo like that.
Kind of want to just go forward myself, I'm going to be honest. Hjarlgron's very impatient at this point.
Ambrose just shrugs. Sure, Pierce, I'll go along with it, if that's what you want.
Hurry up, please.
Follow along. Bishop Festus, we have returned.
It's great to see you. We've gathered some more for the pilgrimage. You see 5 other people that are, like, near him. They've already had their minds opened.
So have we.
He looks at you, and you can tell he's looking at you knowingly. It's like, I see. Well, we should probably get our way on the pilgrimage then. To be
Knowingly how? Does he know? Does he know that we're not bugged?
You can get the vision that when you said that, he looked at you and was like, you know, he knows that you guys are lying. Well, at least that you're lying.
Okay.
But he doesn't seem
Or
to
at
care
least-
either.
Okay.
Then let us begin our pilgrimage.
Yes, I love bugs.
I'm curious of what
I like
it
salad.
entails. I'm curious. What was it? This chrysalis?
Yes, the chrysalis. Our god.
Never met a god before. It's always nice to have something new to do.
I bet it's a beautiful butterfly.
It is far more than that, which it will appear to you in whatever way you wish it to.
I'm not caring for the sight. Just more so its presence. That's good enough for me.
Wise words. Then let's begin.
Lead the way.
And he picks up this long stick with an incense at the end, and he begins walking and waving it as he walks.
We can follow that scent. There you go.
And
Probably also
yeah.
smells putrid.
And yeah, he leads you to the edge where there's some steps, and then leads you down to the sub 5, and then down to sub 6, where the fog is now entirely covering all of you. And then he leads you to the entryway of the underbelly.
I'm not ready.
It's gonna be some
Oh, it's gonna be
stinker of a
awful
place.
down here.
Yippee.
Ugh, look at that stinky looking bridge. That thing probably
Ew.
reeks.
The
gonna find him, aren't we?
underbelly is
We're
below
gonna find
all
him.
of it. Your ground, your feet finally touch what maybe is like mud, dirt, patches of water. Surrounding you, you see planks of wood, masts that have been broken over and absolutely destroyed, as well as open shafts of like mines that lead into tunnels way far down. Stalactites and stalagmites garner in all of the corners, and weird creatures kind of form at the top of the archways of the underbelly bridges, you can see these small kind of like mollusk-like creatures that dangle down slightly, and when like a sky rat flies across, it kind of lifts it and brings it up, and then like chomps it into its clam shaped size.
Are you gonna make us find the gaping dragon?
I believe so.
You might as well, yeah. To be fair, you might as well envision this place as the fucking the depths. To be fair, depth / blight down. Anyway,
God. Oh my god, he's actually
My frames!
He's actually made
Depth
me
down. You're afraid.
so now that you're all submerged into this fog, I would like everyone except for Ambrose to make a con save followed by a wisdom save.
Oh my god.
Oh, great.
Told you, just hold your breath.
Hello,
Wait,
I'm immune to disease. Does this mean anything?
On your sheet,
Yeah.
Doi, does it say that you, because you're a warforged, that you don't have to breathe?
Correct.
Then, Doi, you do not have to bother with this.
Oh,
Does
boy.
being immune to
okay.
disease do anything?
Okay, so for being immune to disease, that means you don't have to roll the con save, but you do have to roll the wisdom save.
Okay.
So I failed the con save.
Ah shit, I should use my inspiration.
Alright,
And
so
I failed the
let's
wisdom save.
see here. So
I'm not
Hjarlgron
doing good.
con fail, but wisdom is success. So when you get down here, the stench is horrific. It is disgusting. Not only do you feel the sense of it, almost kind of like searing your nostril hairs because it's so horrible, but then also you feel it kind of affecting your lungs. You are poisoned for the next hour. The same follows Celwydd. The same follows Pierce. And fucking all the rest of you didn't even have to bother with it. Crazy.
It really is Blight Town.
Yeah,
but-
Muscle emoji.
I can do
Wisdom-wise.
the special of reckless anyway.
Wisdom wise.
Not okay.
Hjarlgron, you're
Celwydd,
fine.
join me.
Nothing affects your mind. You feel nothing. Celwydd, you begin to feel the sound of scuttling behind your eyeballs. You begin to hear,
Ew.
yes, your path is opening to enlightenment. And then you hear
Oh.
wriggling and the sounds of centipedes. You begin to feel like through your ears you've got kind of like crawling around the sides of your ears.
These are
At the moment, Celwydd, Pierce,
Do you want me to just put that on loop?
and Eldrith all have that
Oh,
sensation.
Eldrith.
All have that
Uh.
all have that sensation of like this weird whisper constantly like nagging at the back of your head, and also these crawling sensations as if something is beginning to grow on your brain.
Hate.
Hold on. The wisdom.
Hate.
The
I'm gonna just
wisdom.
leave it on loop for you.
The wisdom needs to be re-rolled, or just you want to like not bother because it's a nat 1 because the saving throw has a +4 to it for the wisdom.
So it would have been a 5 total then.
5,
but
yeah.
Still, failures
Poison
on
on that.
either account. So you're poisoned
Okay.
with an underbelly disease, and you're also feeling this kind of
Oh no.
whispers and crawling at the back of your minds.
I'm gonna be rolling a disadvantage to get rid of this thing. Oh.
So just keep in mind, those of you that failed the death save, keep that
I'm just gonna
in
keep-
mind.
Do I?
The
can
death
I-
save.
Wait, can I?
Death save?
Can I do a thing? Can I do a thing? I gotta do some reading.
I'm just gonna let this repeat for you, running, just so everyone knows.
Man actually said death save, we're done for.
Using skill or tool,
No,
which
no,
I'm proficient
if I
with.
did say
I'm
death
not
save, I didn't
proficient
mean
with
it. I
this.
don't know why that came on. But yeah, for those of you, just keep it in mind. Just keep the wisdom. Well, those of you that failed your wisdom save, remember who you are because it's going to be important later.
Huh? Remember who you are? What do you mean by that, Brandon?
We're gonna have to fucking fight them, boys.
I knew this was the Lion
3v3.
King.
All right. Okay. Then. So, as you begin walking around the underbelly, you find yourselves in this kind of completely fog-covered mist, archways and moss and creatures lining every corner. Not ones that would bother trying to fight you, since they are far below you, but ones that more benefit from eating up carcasses of alligators and trying to nom on rats and stuff like that. Now, the other acolytes also seem to, be following. Well, not acolytes yet, but the ones that are also doing this pilgrimage, the other innocents that have come with you, are following Bishop Festus as he reaches this kind of large archway that has been turned into this cavernous hollow, and it's completely covered with this fog. And he stops there and plants this incense stick into a holder that seems to have been designed for it. And he turns to all of you. The Whispers are going to show you the way. Follow them, and you will be given revelation. And you see the innocents just wander in happily. Those of you that fail the wisdom save also feel compelled to do so. You're like, yeah, you know what? I know where I'm going. And you begin walking in, knowing perfectly fine when you're going.
Brendan, I don't know if the message reached, but I said on the way down I was going to cast Mage Armor.
Alright,
okay, take
cool.
it up there.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, those of you that failed are still have complete control of yourself, but you feel like you know where you're going. And you're happy to go as well.
I will be going then. Yippee!
I guess.
How thick is the? It's like dense fog, is it? It's like super thick.
If someone was to travel roughly 10 feet in front of you, they just get consumed up by the fog.
I'm gonna put my hand on the back of Pierce's shoulder then and follow him that way.
It's thick.
Also, just as a reminder, Brandon, I do have blind sight for 10 feet if that ever becomes relevant.
Right. Okay. Good. It's good to keep in mind because I do forget. Good. Okay.
It's a very unusual thing for a paladin to have.
The rest of you start noticing how Eldrith and Pierce and Celwydd start kind of like twitching, like their neck kind of like twitches every now and again. They kind of like move they tilt their head and move it, and kind of maybe like spasm their shoulder slightly over their side. But other than that, they seem okay to keep going. Now, as you guys continue traveling, those of you that obviously feel the Whispers guiding your set footpath, find yourselves kind of entering up into a smaller chamber, or an opening of sorts, where on the walls you see these small membrane sacs kind of growing on the walls. And you see these other innocents kind of looking around, and those of you who begin to kind of scan the room can notice that attached to these sacs is the shoulders downwards of a person. It's almost as if the head of a person has become the sack that's then grown onto the walls. So you begin to see corpses littered about in this room, and the head's a incubation chamber for whatever these things are growing into. And those of you nearby and these Whispers feel like you're connecting to these things that are on the wall, and you can hear them. Yeah, feed me. Feed me.
No.
And you can feel the Whispers. And then you see some of the membranes kind of almost unzip. And you can hear them kind of squelch. The bodies that have been left there with their heads turned into these sacs begin twitching slightly as some of them begin to open. You notice how the first ones to fall are the 4 other innocents with you that kind of go up to some of these walls and begin eating the bodies of the other ones that are on the floor, almost as if it's like God's gift to them. They fall to the ground and they begin eating the body of these creatures that are attached to these walls, and all you hear them shouting is enlightenment, enlightenment, and they keep eating on them until all of a sudden their bodies kind of begin to bobble, and the sacs slowly begin to kind of open up. The rest of you who aren't controlled, obviously this is a fucking act of freakish nature, those of you that are controlled understand it, but you're not compelled to do it because something reserves you for something greater. Your mind is far more enlightened than to just be the decomposer for these creatures. So you're witnessing this and you almost feel like you understand why, but you are to be reserved. And as these sacs on the walls kind of begin to rip and tear open. From them, these small, weird creatures with tentacles that kind of lash out almost in the shapes of the manta rays with piercing claws that attach to the ground begin to kind of float out. You notice that the spine of the bodies is turned into their tail, their manta ray tail, as it kind of lifts out from the body. You hear this squelching pull as tendons and muscle strips. As all around you, these 4 or 5 little nests begin to open up into these weird, multi-eyed, ribbed and spined, floating manta ray creatures. And as they do, they kind of turn to you and rattle their pincers.
Oh, freaks.
No,
And that's where we're going to leave it for today's session.
Dog.
I am
Oh, they're
taking
freaks.
No.
It's so good.
God.
Don't worry. He's just a little guy. Don't worry about it.
They're just little guys.
They're just little guys. Little scrugglies.
Ryan, you can stop with it now.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
So,
It was
that's
good
where
ambience,
My
I
only
will agree.
response to all of that, Brandon.
Brother.
That's where we shall leave it for now.
I hate you, Brandon.
What's that, brother?
But,
Brandon, I actually just hate you.
But we shall see a bit more of all of this wonder and enlightenment and riddleness the next session. We'll see how it goes. So until then,
Nah.
thank you all so much for being here and playing with me. I appreciate it. And
Brandon,
we'll see you next week. And until then, have a wonderful long rest.
I hope you stub your toe,
Bye.
okay?
Goodbye.
Well,
I
boy.
hope the nails split.
Come on.